If you want to create cinematic product shots with maximum precision or impressive time-lapse shots with tracking shots, there's no way around a motorized slider. Today, I'm introducing you to an attractively priced option that puts even more expensive competitors in the shade, the Neewer ER1. Although it has been on the market for some time, Neewer has redesigned it to make it even more suitable for everyday use. The slider is supplied in a fabric bag padded with foam, in which it can be transported extremely comfortably, apart from its size. The ER1 is available in 3 sizes, 80 centimeters, 100 centimeters, and 120 centimeters. I opted for the 80 centimeters version as it offers the ideal compromise between mobility and range. A big advantage over the earlier models is that the slider comes pre-assembled and fits in the bag even when assembled. This means that you don't have to reattach the motor and rubber band every time. To get the slider ready for use, all you need to do is unfold the feet and attach the ball head supplied. This is of remarkably high quality and reliably holds the camera in position. Alternatively, you can of course also attach the slider to a very stable tripod or 2 less stable tripods. The slider has numerous connection options for this. Once set up, a Sony NPF battery is connected and the slider calibrates itself automatically. It moves once to the edge of the slider. As I use the motor and battery as a counterweight to the lens, it always moves to the left. As soon as the slider has found its position, it is ready for use and now knows exactly how far it can move. The slider is controlled via a smartphone app, which connects quickly and easily. However, if you use the slider frequently, I still recommend the optional remote control. This is even included as standard with the 120 centimeters version. Various modes are available in the app. In manual mode, you can move the sled in both directions at the touch of a button. At the top, you can set the speed at which you want to do this and how long the sled will take over the entire route. You can also decide whether the slider should start and slow down slowly, or whether the movement should be abrupt. In this mode, you can set an A and B point between which the slider moves back and forth. You can use the loop function to repeat the movement endlessly. If you want to use the entire length of the slider, you can also simply select automatic here. In addition to the speed as a percentage, we can now also set a time that the slider should take to get from A to B, and it can do this extremely slowly. Up to 500 hours can be set here. I haven't tried it out, but as you can't set a second longer, I think it should work like this. The time-lapse mode is designed for photo cameras. Here, you can automatically create time-lapse recordings in which the slider itself triggers the camera. To do this, you need to connect your camera to the slider using one of the many cables supplied. Unfortunately, no suitable cable was included for my Lumix G70. However, the cable from my remote shutter release also worked without any problems. Once you have set the camera to the appropriate exposure values in photo mode, the remaining settings are made in the app again. The setting options in the first section are unchanged as before. In the second segment, you can then select the desired frame rate for your final result. For time-lapse recordings, 30 FPS probably makes the most sense here. It would also be nice to have 25 bps to choose from, but as these are all individual images anyway, it's not really that important. Now you can specify how long your movie should be at the end. That is when the individual images have been combined at the set frame rate. At the bottom, you can then set how much time should pass between each image. For example, if you have set that you want a video with a length of 10 seconds at 30 fps, and a photo is to be taken every 12 seconds, then you will be shown at the bottom that it will take 300 pictures for this and will need just under an hour. The cool thing about this is that the slider does not move constantly during the time-lapse journey, but instead travels the route in small steps. Depending on the settings you choose, you can also expose for several seconds and take night lapses and the like. You can also use the shutter speed option to set whether the slider should only trigger your camera as normal, or whether your camera should be in bulb mode and the slider should also control the length of the exposure. A particular highlight of the ER1 is the ability to pan the camera during the ride without the need for an additional motor. There is an adjustable rail under the carriage for this purpose, with which you can either fix the camera on a central object or perform a panoramic pan, depending on how you tilt it. The workmanship of the Neewer ER1 is outstanding. The slide runs extremely smoothly and evenly, so that shots with longer focal lengths or even macro shots are possible. Of course, there are limits to this, but I didn't notice any jerks in normal areas. Provided, of course, that your slider is stable, the motor also works almost silently, which makes it ideal for interviews and other recordings with audio. Overall, I am a big fan of the Neewer ER1. It is easy to use, offers numerous functions, and runs extremely smoothly. The motor is powerful enough for shots with an incline or even vertical tracking shots. Considering the price, the slider is a real bargain. If you'd like to take a closer look at the Neewer ER1, I've linked it in the video description below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.